Yo guys, and welcome to another Dark Rain video. This time I'm going to be showing you the Restoring Light skill line from the Templar class, and I'll be showing you all of the different morphs and trying to explain what situations I think they are best used in. So, first up is the ultimate rite of passage. Channel the grace of the gods, healing nearby enemies for 4k every second. Great supercharge. Really useful ultimate, guys, especially when you've run out of magicka. That's when I tend to use this, or when there's so much damage coming in and my allies start to spread that I think I might not be able to get to all of you. They may be occasionally breaking line of sight. You hit this and the likelihood is they will stay standing. Very useful ultimate. So what does it morph into? Two different things as always. Remembrance being the top one. Now, Remembrance, it pretty much does exactly the same thing, but whilst you are channeling this, allies take 20% less damage, which is a sizable amount. Really useful to have. So that tends to be the ultimate morph that I usually get. I mean, the 20% damage mitigation is extremely useful, especially when heavy damage is coming in, you need to get heals out. This is like a 2-for-1, really good. Now the next one is Practiced Incarnation. Now the thing with this is, it increases the channel time, but that's all. So you're going to get an extra 2 seconds of extra heals, which means an extra 8,000 heal going out. But the problem with that is, it's just going to last a bit longer. I appreciate it'll give you a bit more time for magical recovery, or hopefully a potion recharging, something like that. But I just don't think it's as beneficial as Remembrance. Remembrance is much more likely to keep your allies standing. Next up, Rushed Ceremony. Share your inner light with a wounded ally to heal 5k health. Not bad. Not a bad little heal, and it's instantaneous. Quite expensive to cast though. But what does it morph into? So the top one is Honor the Dead. Restores magic when healing low health allies. So if your ally is below 50%, the health restores 50% of the ability cost every 2 seconds for 8 seconds. So you cast this on somebody who's quite low on health, then you will start to get a bit of magicka back over an 8-second period. Or the other one, which is Breath of Life. So you share your inner light to obviously heal one ally for 4.8k. Then it also heals up to 2 other nearby allies for 2.4k. This is the one I tend to take. Having a group heal that is instantaneous is absolutely priceless. Absolutely priceless. So I tend to morph into this one. Next up is Healing Ritual. Not something that I tend to use a great deal, mainly because of the cast time. It takes 2 seconds to get off. Don't get me wrong, it's an outstanding heal, especially in something like PvP, and if everybody's in a bit of a cluster and you can get off a good healing ritual, you've just saved a lot of lives, I guarantee you. Now when you get this off, you obviously receive an additional 30% healing. But what does it transmorph into? So 2, obviously. Ritual of Rebirth. You have a reduced cast time, that is all. And when I say a reduced cast time, it's not like it's cut it in half. You've shaved 0.3 of a second off of the cast time. In my opinion, not massively worth it. The next one is Lingering Ritual. Now, the thing with Lingering Ritual is, don't get me wrong, it's a really good heal, but it takes 2 seconds to get off, which is extremely annoying. But the good thing about the Lingering Ritual is, once you do get it off, 8 seconds later, anybody who got hit with Lingering Ritual the first time round will also be healed again for 1600. Really good heal in PvP. If you're in a big gang and you're not getting attacked at the time and you actually manage to get one of these off, it's going to save a lot of people in that particular 10-meter radius. Nice heal. Next up is Restoring Aura. A very unusual heal in my opinion. So you champion the cause of the divine gods. Now, while slotted, you gain minor fortitude, minor endurance and minor intellect, increasing health, stamina and magicka recovery by 10%, which isn't bad. So once you activate it, you pass this on to nearby allies, granting them major fortitude, major endurance, and increasing their health and stamina recovery by 20% for 18 seconds. Now, early days, this is really good because it complements their own health regeneration, but it also complements your heal over time if you're using the staff. So you stack all of these things together and your heal over time should do a really good job at keeping the team standing. So what does it change into? Radiant Aura. Radiant Aura, basically it's the same thing as before, only the radius is increased. So you're more likely to hit your allies when you cast this. Or Repentance. This thing is awesome, but a little situational at times. So now costs nothing to cast. And when you cast it, it consumes the essence of corpses that are around you, and it restores that to your allies, which is really, really good. As you can see, per soul, it will give 2k health and 2k stamina. So you want to be activating this throughout the course of the battle. You do not want to be activating it at the start. Why? Because there are no dead enemies for you to consume. Everybody will still be standing, you'll hit this, be stuck in animation, somebody else will die when you could have got a breath of life off. So don't use this at the start of a fight, guys, because you're not going to consume any souls. You need to keep an eye on the enemies that are there, and if they start piling up, start hitting this. If you get this off, every time an ad dies, someone's getting 2k health and 2k stamina back. Really useful. If you do it when there's a group of them, it just keeps stacking and it is ludicrous. Also, do not use this at the end of a fight. If everybody's completely drained of stamina and there's some guys left behind, yeah, why not hit it? You boost their stamina back up and off you all go. But if you do it at the end of a bout all the time, you're not using this to its maximum potential. You need to be using this mid-fight. And if you've got stamina-based DPS running content with you, and you're getting this thing off all the time, they will love you. Because they will just be able to spam constantly, and it will be this constant drain of death on the enemy. Really, really useful move, guys. So I typically go with Repentance. Next up is Cleansing Ritual. It's an enormous AoE based radius that heals everybody that's inside of the circle for 500 health every 2 seconds. So it's not a massive heal, but it does complement other heal over time. The good thing about this is that it also removes a harmful effect. But my problem with this is also people need to activate the synergy. So allies can also activate Purify, removing harmful effects from themselves and giving them an additional heal. It is useful in that sense. So as long as they're in the circle, they will have the option to activate Purify, which will remove harmful effects such as burning, poison, slow, anything like that, and they also get a heal out of it. So the onus is on them a little bit to activate this heal should they need to. Morphs into two different things. Purifying Ritual, sorry. Now this one has a reduced cost, which is really useful because obviously the more magicka you've got, the better, and removes additional effects. So up to 2 harmful effects from yourself and nearby allies. Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant stuff. And obviously they get the option to activate Purify still. Next one is Extended Ritual. It's the exact same thing, a lot more expensive to cast, about 30% more expensive to cast. The only difference here is that it lasts for an extra 2 seconds. And what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? 1 extra heal. You will get 1 extra heal, and that is all. Worth it? I'm not really sure. Not for the extra magic it costs, I don't think so. You're better off going with Purifying Ritual. Next up is Rune Focus. So this is pretty damn good, to be fair. So once you cast it, it buffs your spell resistance and your armour by 4,800. That is a monumental amount of additional defence. Really, really useful, but it's only for you. Your friends don't get it if they walk through the circle, it literally just buffs you. Now once you cast it, if you run out of it, that buff will remain for a further 8 seconds. So if you do need to move out the circle, guys, move out of it. It's okay, you can always cast another one. What does it change into? two fantastic things in my opinion. One is channeled focus. Now not only does channeled focus reduce the cost at which it is, it also restores magicka whilst you're sat in it, and it restores it for a monumental amount. While near the room, you also recover 120 magicka every half a second. That's 240 magicka back every second as long as you're sat in that. That is outstanding. Not only that, your defense has gone up by 4,800. A really, really useful move, guys. Really useful. The other thing that it morphs into is restoring focus. Now, the cost of it remains the same, but whilst you're in it, you gain healing. So, giving you an 8% bonus to any healing received. So that healing is specific to you again. If this minor vitality thing went out to all your allies as well, I'd probably got this, but it doesn't. So unfortunately, it just heals you. Great for surviving, especially if you're soloing things. You just pop this down, sit in the circle, hit a heal over time and start putting the hurt down. Any heal you receive goes up by 8%. So that includes all the things from like puncturing jabs, empowering sweep, radiant oppression, but the other one, yeah, really good. Anything that heals you gets buffed by 8%. Really, really useful. Now the next up things are of course the classic passives. Again, you don't need me to talk you through these things, but I do highly recommend getting them because it increases everything you do within this tree. Exceptionally useful to use. As you can see, channeling Rite of Passage, which is your ultimate, grants a 15k bonus to your armour. So it's very, very difficult for you to be killed whilst you're channeling that particular ultimate. Yeah, really worth doing, guys. Get this as well, Master Ritualist. Increases resurrection speed. So if somebody goes down, make sure you go to fetch them. Because one, you do it more quickly, and two, they return with 100% more health than they would have done as if somebody else has just picked them up. So make sure you spec into these passives, guys. Right, that is it for the Restoring Light tree. I hope you have found this particular morphing guide useful. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We are Dark Rain, and as always,